Good morning. It is a good morning. Love it. Oh, where's my, I'll pay you later, okay? Got my wallet back. All right, you can sing along with me if you like. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. Here we go. I send my good over the mountains. I send my good over the sea. I send my good into the heavens, and it returns to me. Let's go back to love. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. This is something we need right now. We need to pray for peace in the world. Pray for peace. 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 Come on, here we go. Sing it with me. Pray for peace. 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 Pray for peace all over the world.
Good morning. I'm Reverend John Riley, and I have the joy of serving as your senior minister. And I'd like to welcome you to our Sunday celebration service. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks to all of you who are watching online, and for those of you who are tuning in during the week. Know that wherever you are in this very moment, you're at the right place, at the right time, right now. Yes? Unity, for those of you who are new to Unity, Unity is a global spiritual community welcoming people from all walks of life. People are looking for a deeper experience of spirit, a greater sense of health, wholeness, and abundance. People looking for spiritual growth and transformation, and to simply do life better. We teach positive, practical spiritual principles that you can apply in your life every day to help you live a more joyful and abundant life. We're so blessed this morning to have with us Margot LeDuc as our soloist, Russell Norman on piano, Polo Jones on drums, and Rusty Gaylord as our platform leader. And so we will begin our service with our opening song. I'll invite you all to stand as Margot leads us.
All right, here we go. Holy, 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 holy is the I am. Holy, yes, I am. Faithful, 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 faithful is the I am. Faithful, yes, I am. Let's go back to holy. Holy, 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 holy is the I am. Holy, yes, I am. Holy, yes, I am. Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing our joyous strains. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Shepherds, why this jubilee? Why your joyous strains prolong? What the gladsome tidings be, which inspires your heavenly song? Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo.
Please have a seat. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rusty Gaylord. I'm very happy to be with you this morning and welcome you to our Sunday celebration service. As you know, Unity is part of a worldwide movement where we practice 5 principles to guide us in our spiritual journey. The first principle is God is, that there is one power and one presence everywhere active in the universe and all around us. That is God, the good omnipotent. And whether you refer to that power and presence as God or source or intelligence or love, whatever word you put on it, it is that power that is here and with us every moment. And that brings us to our second principle, which is that power is not out there somewhere. That power is right here in each one of you. Because our second principle is I am. That God is the substance that is innate in every person and in every being, and including in each one of you. Our third principle is the law of mind action. that thoughts in mind produce after their kind. We have the ability to shape our world through our thinking. One of the ways that we continue to keep our thinking on a positive note is our fourth principle, which is the practice of prayer and meditation. Because it is through prayer and meditation that we get connected to that inner experience of source and love and infinite being of God inside of each one of us. Our fifth principle is the daily practice, because it doesn't just happen here on Sundays. It happens every day, every moment of every day, where we get to practice these principles. And as we do practice these principles, we become more and more what we were created to be, which is an expression of the divine every day, every moment of life, and life gets better. It is through the practice of these 5 principles that we live our vision statement, which is on the screen behind me, and I invite you all to say it together. Centered in God, we co-create a world that works for all, and so it is.
Oh, come on, ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh, come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Christ the Lord.
Today is the first Sunday of Advent, and so today we light the candle for faith.
And our reading from the Daily Word today, the Daily Word is hope and faith. I'll read the affirmation and then invite you to say it with me. My hope leads me to deepen in faith. Together, my hope leads me to deepen in faith. As Advent season begins, I feel a quickening, a renewal deep within me as I embark upon the spiritual journey leading to Christmas. Over the year, I may have hoped for lasting peace, greater love, or abiding joy. But as I have grown spiritually, I have learned to look for those things within, to claim them as aspects of my divine identity. Once I do that, I will begin to see them manifest in my life. Faith is how I begin to bring my hopes to life. Like my other divine gifts, I always have faith. It's up to me to decide how to use it. When I choose to believe that peace will blanket the earth, love will heal our hearts, and joy will bring harmony to the world's people, I am using the power of my faith to bring those visions to life. The scripture reading is from John, chapter 1, verse 5. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it.
Love incarnate, love divine, star and angels gave the sign, bow to babe on bended knee, the Savior of humanity. Unto us a child is born, he shall reign forevermore. Noel, Noel, come and see what God has done. Noel, Noel, the story of amazing love, the light of the world given for us. Noel, 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 come and see what God has done. Noel, Noel, the story of amazing love, the light of the world is given for us. Noel.
Good morning, Unity Palo Alto. How are you today? Fabulous. Wonderful. It's wonderful to see you all. Thank you for being here. Well, we are beginning our 4-part series of Advent. And Advent are the 4 Sundays that lead up to Christmas morning, to Christmas Day. And you may not know this, but the word Advent comes from the Latin word, which means to arrive. It is a coming into view of something appearing before us. And traditionally, in the Christian community, Advent is the coming of Christ into the Mass of Christ, or Christmas. So that idea of bringing that Christness into the Mass at Christmas. Now, metaphysically, of course, in Unity, we look things from a different perspective. We look at the Bible metaphysically in terms of a story of our consciousness and how we can look at the Bible and see ourselves in any part of it and really take that as a tool book for us to use. And so metaphysically, Advent is a time of inner preparation for a personal experience of coming into our own consciousness of our own divine potential, or what is called the Christ consciousness. Now, you may like to call it a different word if Christ doesn't work for you. You may like to think of it as your authentic consciousness, your higher self, your better self, whatever terms you want to put around it is fine, because God doesn't mind. Did you know that? Because this Christ consciousness isn't just for Christians, it's for all of humanity. It's that idea of that divine spark within you that Rusty talked about, that energy that's within you as God, that God is present within you as you are present within God. And so that is our true consciousness. And when we start to live into that, then we start to express that idea more fully. And so that's what Advent is really about. It's moving into that idea, or preparing us for that birth, for that ray rising within us. Now, traditionally, the first Sunday of Advent is hope. And one of my favorite definitions for hope comes from Charles Fillmore in The Revealing Word. Charles Fillmore is one of the co-founders of the Unity movement, and he says that hope is the confident expectation of good in the future. The confident expectation of good in the future. Isn't that nice? Doesn't that give you a sense of, okay, something good is coming? That's wonderful. Now Fillmore goes on to say, it is a quality, it's good as far as it goes, because it is of sense mind, sense consciousness, our human consciousness, because it is subject to time. Hope for good in the future. What does that tell you about right now? Right now, we're experiencing some challenges. Things will get better, but you got to wait a little while. Right now, things are not so great. And so I love that word, that phrase, but it also brings to mind all of the things that are not going so well. And it can change our attention or turn our attention to the things that we're lacking, to the mountains that are before us, to the situations that we find ourselves in. And so I like to use the word faith, and Unity uses the word faith, hope and faith, not only just looking at our future, but faith brings us back into the present moment. Because faith is about right now. Faith is about that feeling within us, that deep inner knowing. That deep inner knowing. Now, traditionally, faith has been talked about, and you may have heard this, it may be something you grew up with, but faith is commonly used as a set of ideas, commonly used as a discipline or a doctrine or a set of beliefs. Anybody grow up with that definition of faith? Yeah, otherwise known as our belief system, or BS for short. It's okay, it's spiritual. Metaphysically, however, if we look at the idea of faith, the meaning has much more depth to it. It's a word that we use in Unity to describe one of the attributes of this idea called Christ consciousness. One of the 12 attributes, as the way Charles Fillmore saw it, of a power within us that allows us to express and experience life more fully. It is the spiritual understanding that it is always available to us through our Christ self. This idea of faith. And faith is actually that power within you that brings to life the world for us. It's the power for us to manifest in our world. It's the power for us to put feet and energy and action. It brings forth all of those things that we give great attention to. So when you realize that, it becomes apparent that we need to worry about or think about our belief system, our BS. Because if faith doesn't go away, we don't actually lose faith, but what we do is we have difficulty in where we're putting it. We lose sight of where we're putting it, and we're putting it in the spiritual, in the sense consciousness world. We're putting it in the physical world out there. Things are going to get better in time. Things are going to get better out there. But when we come back to the idea of faith in the present moment, in this moment, everyone check. Are you breathing? You have everything you need in this moment. That breath of God. So faith is of God. It goes beyond space and time. It brings us into the present moment and keeps us from worrying about all of the things in life that we have to worry about. Worrying about whether the ornaments are going to stay in the right spot. You laugh. But I was walking by them, and one of them just jumped out at me, I'm telling you. So worrying about, our finances, worrying about our health, worrying about things, all of this worrying creates this energy of lack and this idea of lack. So when you face your unexpected change, when you face your critical choice in life, and there are choices that come up all the time, when you have some daunting uncertainty before you, you too can remain calm and turn within and find that inner peace that says, peace, be still. Find that inner peace, inner voice that says, don't worry. Don't worry. We're going to move through this together. Now, the story of faith in the Bible, there are many stories of faith. The one that I really like, especially during Christmas, is the story of Jesus' birth. Because it is all about faith. the faith of Joseph and the faith of Mary and how that came to be. And faith was the primary teaching of Jesus. And so it's really important for us to get a proper understanding. It's not a set of beliefs that people came up with. It's a way of being in our lives. It is a knowing of that divine presence within us. Despite what is happening around us, it's a knowing that we are there. And so the story of Mary and Joseph begins in Matthew, the book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 18, where Mary finds herself pregnant, young and pregnant, unmarried, faced with uncertainty, faced with doubt. And yet the angel Gabriel came to her immediately and reassured her, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. And in that moment, Mary sunk into her faith, was grounded in faith. Faith in knowing that God was there, God was present. Now, an angel represents that inner intuition that's within you, that still small voice, that message from God that we all get, and sometimes we pay attention to it, and sometimes we ignore it. And it doesn't matter whether you call it God or something else or just coincidence, that inner voice, God doesn't care. God's just always there. That presence and power, that intelligence is always there. And so then we come to Joseph. So Mary's pregnant, about to get married, and, she's, okay, I'm in it. I'm going to tell Joseph. And Joseph, hearing the news of his bride-to-be, was like, yeah, wait a minute. I'm not so sure about this. Now, he was being, as a righteous man, in other words, he had right thinking. He didn't want to shame Mary. He didn't want to put Mary under the bus, throw Mary under the bus. Were there buses in that time? I don't know. Someone check that out for me. So he wasn't willing to expose her, and he was going to go through and move her into that place of public disgrace, but rather he planned to marry her and then divorce her quietly. Much better. Well, much better than, anyway. Yeah, so Joseph, you can see where Joseph was coming from. He's like, well, wait a minute. This is not what I signed up for. This is not what I had on my vision board. This is not what I have been talking about and thinking about on the outside world, and yet here is what was. But luckily, another angel came, that intuition, that inner voice, that message within him that said, in the Bible it says, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream and said, Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take Mary as your wife. For the child conceived in her is of the Holy Spirit. She will bear a son, and you are to name him Jesus. So out of that dream, he awoke. Out of that message to him, that intuition that said, okay, it's okay. I'm going to move forward. What incredible faith. Now, he may have said, my honeymoon's going to be a little weird, but we're going to figure it out, and we're going to move forward. So what incredible faith that both of them had to just keep moving forward and following that idea, that intuition, that voice of spirit that moves us, that inspires us, that says it's okay, you're going to be okay, move in this direction. So when the way is unclear, it's important for us to release the worry, the doubt, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, right? The FUD. Release the FUD and listen to that still small voice within you. That comes to you when you're not expecting it. That comes to you when your brain hasn't taken over your world. That comes to you in moments of stillness and moments of silence, moments of sleep, moments of inspiration. Often when I'm praying and meditating affirmative prayer, I'm in it and I'm affirming truth. And I might have a thing that I want to figure out or something I want to accomplish, and it's there and it's present, and then I go on and start doing it. And as soon as the doing starts, boom, that's when I get my inspiration. It could be an hour later. Here's what I was looking for. So remember to let go of the FUD and turn within to that still small voice. Living faith with our open heart to divine guidance, taking one step at a time. See, that's the thing. Faith requires movement. Faith requires action. Faith is that energy within you so that you can manifest your world. And when you're looking at your world through that lens of faith, then you're seeing a whole different world of possibilities. All kinds of ideas and opportunities open up for you. So it's important for us to remember to hold that idea of faith and to rest in the certainty of your spiritual strength, of knowing your oneness with God. The certainty of your spiritual strength. The certainty of knowing that you are one with the infinite flow of life, love, and wisdom in this very moment. Everyone take a breath. See, that proves it. That breath of God, that breath of life that's flowing in through and as you. You are always one with it. So when you face your unpredicted, unexpected change, we've all had a little unpredicted and unexpected change over the last year, haven't we? When you're facing your critical choice, when you're facing your daunting uncertainty, you too can hear that same reassurance. Peace, be still. Don't worry. Do not be afraid. Do not fear. Now, here's my take on fear, on that word, because fear is not the problem. Fear is a great friend. And my advice is to make friends with fear. There are two kinds of fear. The first fear is a real fear, right? Something is impending. There's some danger around. We understand that. We all think that's good, right? Having that fear, that knowing something is going on and I need to get myself out, I need to get myself safe. That kind of fear is really a response to what's happening in the world. Then there's the second kind of fear, fake fear. Fake fear is when we are listening to our stories. Anybody listen to their stories lately? That story that creates a sense of fear within us. That story that drives us into resentment, that drives us into frustration, that drives us into anger, that becomes, our frame of looking through life. So where's our faith then? Our faith is in the story. Our faith is in the story that is completely, whether it's true or not, it doesn't really matter. Right? There's some stories that the more we ruminate on them, we're going to expand on them. We're going to give them depth. It's like a movie going on in our head. Give it special effects. We're going to do our own stunts. Right? That's what happens in our stories. And sooner or later, those stories become beliefs within us. Those stories turn into, this is what is real. This is what is true. When it's really just all made up in here. And then those beliefs then become habits. They become our habitual habits that we do every day. We wake up and we're living that belief. We're living that belief of lack and limitation. We're living that belief of poverty. We're living that belief of suffering. Because that's what we are basing our life on. That's our story. That's where we're putting that energy. And so the key here is to make friends with your fear. Whenever you find your fear, first, is it real? Is there something immediately happening here that I need to be worried about, that I need to do something about? If not, then it's a story. So make friends with your fear because your fear is going to point out to you the opportunities for you to grow. It's going to point out to you the lessons that you're trying to learn in life. Fear is going to point out to you the shadow component, those habits, those back-end beliefs that are driving you. So when you recognize that fear within you, it's like, oh, thank you. Thank you, fear. What is it that lies behind the fear? What is it that's driving this fear? Let's take a look at that so I can grow and I can expand my life and look at life through a different lens. Here are a couple of examples. I have a good friend who is in the process of going through probate. Anybody go through probate before? There's a chunk of money that's held up in a bank, and the bank realizes that they don't want to let go of the chunk of money because banks like to do what banks do. And so they're stalling, and then there's all of this paperwork that has to be done. And why do I have to go through all the paperwork? Well, what lesson is there for you? What are you resisting? What are you pushing away from you? I mean, is it pushing away the money itself? Because some of us have that feeling, that's underlying belief of, I'm not worthy. And we start to push away our good. Is it pushing away the frustration of the paperwork? Look at all the paperwork I have to do. What am I going to learn in that? Even going through it, it's like, okay, what's the lesson? You're still resisting. Don't worry about what the lesson is. Just keep going through it. Because the lesson will become available and clear to you, and you'll know you found it when you can go through the process without any stress or strain. I have another friend who's worried about money, worrying about how they're going to pay the rent during this holiday season, how they're going to buy toys for their kids, all of this idea about money. And they asked for the affirmation. Should I put on my poster board, the perfect wife, should I put on the poster board all of the money that I want? Should I envision myself rolling in money? Well, that puts us out in the sense consciousness world again. And let me tell you, I tried it. Rolling around in pennies does not feel comfortable. It ain't a good thing. I switched to dollar bills, and I just felt like I needed a shower afterwards. So our focus isn't on the external. It's about coming back. As the master teacher says, don't worry. Don't worry. Think of the birds and what, they have no money, and yet I clothe them. Think of the flowers. Who among you can add 1 hour to your life by worrying? None of us. In fact, we know scientifically that worry and stress and strain reduces our lifespan. It reduces our health. So the master teacher says, look, don't worry. Seek first the kingdom. Seek first that kingdom, that knowing, that faith of knowing that God is within you, that God is source, that God is providing, that the universe is opening up to you in this very moment, that the energy of spirit is flowing through you. Seek first that knowing of that kingdom. And that's the idea of faith. That's the power within us to really focus our energy and our attention to the allness of life and opening us up to all different possibilities. And we're all source, right? We're all expressions of source. We're all expressions of God. That thing called money, those pennies, come from each one of us, sharing that energy back and forth. So seek first that presence and power that's within you, and then be a part of that beautiful expression of it into the world. And finally, there was a woman who had cancer, and she was in her, I think, late 60s and discovered she had breast cancer. And she had 2 brothers. And the first brother that she called was stressed, was upset, was feeling the fear, was feeling the story of, oh my gosh, I might lose my sister. And the woman said, it's okay. I'm going through this. And she's tried to lighten the load a little bit. And the brother didn't like that because he was feeling his fear. It was pre-suffering. It was pre-grieving, right? So she was just on her beginning of the journey. The second brother she called, he listened more deeply, and he heard her tone of voice. He heard her faith. He heard her hope. And so he didn't get upset at her. He just held her in her heart. And she was making jokes about, which I can't tell here, but he could sense, okay, there's some humor here. Let's laugh about it together. And she told the second brother, your other brother wasn't so happy when I told that joke. And so she said, it just felt good to laugh. So holding that faith that God is present. There is the idea that the master teacher said, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed. Now, I don't know if you know how small a mustard seed is, but you can go to the store, grab a jar of mustard with mustard seeds in it, and you can taste the flavor of faith. It's delicious, by the way. So this is a metaphor that the master teacher used. Faith as small as a mustard seed. You know why he used that as well? Because mustard was a weed. It's growing everywhere. It's everywhere present. Faith as small as a mustard seed. And you can say to that mountain, move, and the mountain will move. Faith as small as a mustard seed. All it takes is a little crack for Spirit to move through. All it takes is a little crack in our consciousness, a little opening for Spirit to fill in the gaps. And guess what? There are always cracks in the mountain. In whatever mountain you are holding, there's a crack in it. Whatever mountain you see before you, there is a pathway. And Spirit is already in this present moment, moving in, through, and as you. Moving in, through, and as that crack. Filling the space with love. For God is love. Love is the harmonizing energy of Spirit. Spirit is that energy that flows through everything and everyone, lifting us up. Spirit is always on the move. It never stops. Now, we may build walls. We may put brick by brick down in our own consciousness, walling ourselves in with our BS. But there's always a crack, and Spirit can get through and is getting through. And your job is not to worry about the pennies, not to worry about the outcomes, not even to worry about the cracks. They're just there. Just focus on Spirit. Just focus on love. Just focus on that harmonizing energy. That's the idea of faith. That preparation for that raising of our Christ consciousness, allowing that faith to fill us up, seeking first that kingdom, allowing that energy to flow in, through, and as us. For you are the beautiful expression of Spirit. I'm going to use that as an affirmation, a pre-affirmation. I am the beautiful expression of Spirit. Everyone take a nice, deep, cleansing breath, because I know sometimes it's hard for us to see ourselves as beautiful, but you are. I am the beautiful expression of Spirit. Together? There was some hesitancy. I was listening. Let's say that again. I think I'll add an exclamation point to the end there. Are you ready? I am a beautiful expression of Spirit. Yes, yes, yes. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you. I own it. My shadow gets in the way sometime, but you know what? It's just part of me that's wanting love. So I shine the light of love whenever I am able to. Let's move to our affirmation, Felix. I'm going to read the affirmation and then invite you to affirm it with me. I am one with the infinite flow of life, love, and wisdom. I walk in faith, and Spirit is taking care of the details. Ooh, that was a mouthful. Okay, I'm going to read that one more time, then we'll affirm it together. I am one with the infinite flow of life, love, and wisdom. I walk in faith. Spirit is taking care of the details. Together, I am one with the infinite flow of life, love, and wisdom. I walk in faith, and Spirit is taking care of the details. And so it is. You are so beautiful, so powerful, so lovely. Let's take that into our time of meditation and affirmative prayer. I'll invite you to take a nice, deep, cleansing breath and to close your eyes if that feels comfortable, or simply soften your gaze as we begin to tune out the outside world of sense consciousness, tune out all of the things that are rolling through our heads, begin to become present in this present moment. As we focus on our breath, I invite you to put your attention in your feet, in the earth beneath you. Feel yourself anchored in faith. I am anchored in faith. Bring your attention to your solar plexus, that center of you where there is wisdom, the power of wisdom, divine wisdom, as it comes through in intuition and breathe into your solar plexus. Breathe into wisdom. As we breathe into wisdom, our emotions begin to settle, and we focus on our heart. Breathing into our heart space, we bring forth that energy of love. Divine love as it flows through each one of us, through every cell in your body, so that every cell knows its perfect divine purpose. Breathing in love settles our thoughts, and we open our mind to divine inspiration, to infinite intelligence. With each breath, we rest in the stillness of the silence. I am one with the infinite flow of life, love, and wisdom. I walk in faith, and Spirit is handling the details. I walk in faith, and I express love into the world. Kindness, compassion, clarity. I walk in faith and I bless the world. That energy of love flows through us now, blessing each other. Blessing all of the prayers in our prayer chest, all of the prayers that we hold in our hearts. If there's somebody who you hold in prayer, I invite you to say their name out loud now or bring their name to mind. Nancy Taylor, Ronnie Beck, Margo Harris. For all of the names that we hold in our hearts, we affirm that divine love is doing its perfect work here and now, in this very moment. We hold this same prayer for all of our world, local, national, state leaders, seeing them making wise and loving decisions for peace on earth, goodwill, equality, and justice for all people. And we hold this prayer for all of humanity. As we bless all of humanity in this very moment, we raise the consciousness of the whole. And for that truth, we are joyfully grateful. We are richly, richly blessed, and we celebrate by singing the Alleluia. And with a nice deep cleansing breath, we return our attention to this time and this space and gently open our eyes if you haven't already done so. Take a nice deep breath and allow that love, that energy to fill you up and to be your guide today. Unity Palo Alto is here to help you discover your spiritual magnificence, to help you discover your beautiful self, and allow that energy to flow through your life as you express that love into the world. Our purpose statement, our evolutionary purpose statement, is that we are here to transform lives and inspire people to make a positive difference in the world. And we're here because of your generous donations, your love offerings, and you support us in all of this work. However you decide to give, there are multiple ways in which you can give to Unity Palo Alto, to your spiritual center, to allow us to move in through and continue this important work. However you decide to give with love. One of the ways in which you can give to our spiritual center is through our pledge drive. We are in the middle of our pledge drive. If you're on our mailing list, you will have received a letter and a pledge card. If you didn't and you'd like to pick one up, there's some in the back of the sanctuary, right around the corner, next to the prayer box and the question and the comments box. You can pick one up there. You can also go to our website. On the next slide, Felix. Thank you. You can go to our website. And what I want you to know is that our pledge drive really helps us determine what next year is going to look like. Can we expand? Do we need to find ways in which we need to live within our means a little bit more effectively? And there are a few ways in which you can support us. We are trying to bridge the gap between our income and expenses at the end of the year. And so if you can give an end-of-year donation, we would appreciate it. We know that there's so many wonderful causes out there. We just ask you to consider Unity Palo Alto to be one of them. You can set up an automatic donation online and through our giving platform called Nucleus. And we have a pledge. We have a grant. We have a $15,000 matching grant. And we already have $5,000 going towards that, so we have $10,000 left. And that says if you make a recurring donation on our giving platform that's new, that donation will be matched this year if you do it by the end of the year, and next year at the end of the year. Also, if you're already giving automatically online, if you increase that amount by whatever amount, that increase will be matched. So if you're giving $100 and you make it $125, that $25 will be matched. If you're donating $500 and you make it $15,000, then we'll be done with our matching pledge. Well, we're so grateful for however you give to us, because it's this spiritual community that is the energy that we're giving into the world. And it's through your love that we exist. The affirmation is on the screen, and I invite you to affirm it with me together. Divine love from me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is.
Many pray along the way. They don't stop to wonder what the world is coming to. Love will take us higher, reveal the way to a greater love. Oh, so the truth is telling me, sing of liberation for the ones who are not free. Love will take us higher, reveal the way to a greater love. Oh, we let it wash over us, we let it make us kinder, we let it make us better, we let it be, we let it early in the morning, we let it hold us together, we let it now and forever, we let it be, we let the love wash over us. We let it be peace. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be joy. We let the joy wash over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be.
please stay standing. And for those of you not standing, please join everyone else who is standing. This is an opportunity for us to just be grateful and let that love and peace and joy wash over ourselves and to share that with everyone else in this community. So we're going to take this moment to bless each other. The blessing that we say is on the screen behind me, so take a look at that. It should be pretty short and easy to remember. And then warm up your hands and face the center aisle, face the people around you, and let's share that love and peace and joy with one another as we say together, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the light in you. And so it is. So everyone sit down unless you have a birthday in December. Anyone who has a birthday in December, stand up. And Margot, don't go away because we are singing happy birthday to our December babies.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, you're wonderful. Happy birthday to you.
Wonderful. Thank you and happy birthday. We have a few things that we want to share with you that are going on here at Unity Palo Alto that you get to experience not just here today on Sunday. The first thing is happening tomorrow night, which is a great opportunity to come and listen to music and bring, yes, it's going to be fantastic. And the toy drive. Yes, you may have heard that. We are doing a toy drive, so please bring an unwrapped toy, and that will be donated to children in need. So we would love to see you here tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock for a lot of fun and good music and a good cause. The following Sunday, a week from today, next week on Sunday, on December 10th, we are doing another dinner with friends. This is a free dinner for all of you here in the Unity community who are part of the Unity community. Come on Sunday evening at 5 o'clock. We will have dinner over here in the Yes Hall. It is free. All you have to do is show up. We would love to have you RSVP so we have enough food for everybody. So please RSVP, and we would love to see you here next Sunday in Yes Hall at 5 o'clock. Finally, I wanted to share with you a little bit about the holiday schedule. Christmas Eve is on a Sunday. There will be a morning service that day, so you're welcome to come in the morning. And of course, we will do the candle lighting service in the evening at 8 o'clock on Christmas Eve. And then we will do the burning bowl ceremony, which is December 31st. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's a great way to release something that you're ready to let go of as this year comes to a close. So you can enter the new year fresh and clean. And then we have the opportunity to do the white stone ceremony, which is the first Sunday of the month on January 7th, first Sunday of the new year on January 7th, where you get to claim a word and a message and a vision for how you will live out the next year. So that's what our end-of-year service schedule looks like. We would love to have you there. May I ask our prayer chaplains to stand? Do we have prayer chaplains today? Yes, we do. Thank you. Our prayer chaplains are here to serve you and to hold space with you and to pray with you and affirm the divine in you. So if you would like to sit with them and pray and have them pray with you, you are welcome to see either one of them right where they are standing. You can find them there after the service. Thank you for your service. And now I invite you all to stand as we have a hand up in the congregation, which is unusual. It's quick. Display of global nativity scenes. Fantastic. For those of you online who didn't hear it. And now let us sing our song of peace.
Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be with God as creator
And now our prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Happy Advent, everyone. Love and blessings, and have a wonderful week.
Precious, 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 precious is the I am. Precious, yes, I am. Holy, 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 holy is the I am. Holy, yes, I am. Holy, yes, I am. All right.
That's hard to do.